control the center of the ring. If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
It's too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting. If it's played wrong by either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
According to reports, boxing great Roy Jones Jr. surprised Terence Crawford at his training camp. It's generating a lot of excitement right before Crawford's epic bout with Canelo Alvarez.
Fight call, I think his size may be his best going factor, but if he goes out and boxes Bud, he's not going to beat Bud boxing. He's not. So if Bud can take his punch, he's not going to outbox Bud. So it's like, it'll be, what would determine the fight would be who wants it most and who has the best fight plan. Because to me, I don't care what they say, if Bud can get Canelo to box him, Bud will outbox Canelo.
So it's still a fight that you feel is competitive enough despite what happened in the Madrimov fight?
Without a question, it's competitive enough. Well, what he showed you in the Madrimov fight is that he can take the punch at 154. So now, can he take it at 68? Still yet to be seen.
Insiders claim that Jones wasn't merely there to say hello. He arrived with a plan, giving Crawford a comprehensive guide on how to take down the Mexican superstar. Roy's advice couldn't be more timely as Crawford looks to solidify his legacy by stepping up in weight and facing one of the most formidable opponents of this age. According to reports, Jones has figured out just how Bud can shock the world by controlling range with precise footwork and taking advantage of Canelo's flat-footed moments.
It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch. Yeah. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain, loves to give us the big fights. Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Not gonna always win them, but he always tries to give them to us. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much.
On September 13th, 2025, Terence Crawford will face Canelo in Las Vegas, WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, Ring, and TBR titles that are streamed live on Netflix, as well as a move up to weight classes to compete for the undisputed super middleweight title. Crawford aims to become the first guy in the four-belt era to be undefeated in 3 divisions, after defeating top opponents Errol Spence Jr. and Israel Madrimov. Crawford contributes superior ring intelligence, speed, and switch-hitting ability, while Alvarez, weighing 168 pounds, brings a wealth of experience from defeating Saunders, Plant, and others. The battle is being marketed as boxing's fight of the century and is being promoted by the Saudi-backed Riyadh season, alongside UFC's Dana White.
You've accepted this fight now, but in the previous years you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madrimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
According to Roy Jones Jr., Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford will be decided by Canelo's style of fighting rather than by weight. Jones promised the ring in February that Canelo would win if he did his best. Crawford will win, though, if he comes out and does something improper. He highlighted that Crawford's route to win is to control the center of the ring. He reiterated that weight is not a deciding issue, and that the real test will be Crawford's capacity to absorb Canelo's power. In the end, Jones leans towards Canelo early on, but he admits that Crawford will be an issue if he survives the initial storm and applies his boxing IQ.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Connor's never been there.
Yeah. Okay. Another fight I did want to ask you about in terms of weight classes. Canelo Alvarez potentially fighting Terence Crawford in September. That's obviously a massive weight discrepancy. What do you think of that fight and the weight discrepancy between it?
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
With Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring. If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
The Crawford-Canelo bout was compared by Jones Jr. to a high-stakes strategic chess game in the ring, highlighting the fact that this is a strategic battle of moves and countermoves rather than merely using physical force. He emphasized Terence Crawford's capacity to outsmart opponents by pointing out that his most recent fight with Israel Madrimov was a dull chess match. Jones actually cautioned Crawford against making this a foot sprint, stating, "You give him all the confidence if you run from a big man? That is foolish." Jones views this fight as essentially a contest of cunning, a sophisticated mental combat in which the winner is determined by timing, accuracy, tactical discipline, and control of the middle of the ring. It's as much mental boxing as physical. Boxing,
I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Terence is not taking a fight in between. He's like, I'm going to move up to 168. I'm going to take my time with that. Should we expect an upset, or are we going to see what most people are expecting in that fight if it does happen?
Well, we're not going to see what most people are expecting. That's for sure. I can guarantee that, because most people looking at the weights and saying, oh, they're too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting.
According to Jones Jr., Terence Crawford should defeat Canelo via knockout to cement his reputation. Perhaps this would be the ideal time for him to hang up his glove and threaten to go fight Benvitz if he loses. All right. Took it with the eyes, he says. If he doesn't beat him, I'm free to leave. I'm finished. According to Roy, Crawford will either decide he has had enough success and leave the sport, or he will pursue one last ideal fight, possibly against David Benavidez. It's great feedback from a legendary boxer. You've earned the right to retire as one of the greatest if you defeat a legend like
If it's played wrong by either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Let's say if Canelo wins, do you think people give Canelo credit because Bud is smaller? And if Bud wins, should he just retire and go on the sunset?
Bud definitely should retire if he wins. Canelo, no, you have unfinished business, bro. You can try to hide, you can try to run, but that monster thing, it ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Even if you retire the rest of your career, the monster thing is not going anywhere because the monster was searching for you. He beat everything y'all sent at him in the process of trying to get to you. I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was a time where he was saying, Benavidez was saying, you know what, I got to earn that Canelo shot. He earned that shot a long time ago.
Terence Crawford, in Jones Jr.'s opinion, deserves a spot in the top 10 fighters of all time. And following his convincing victory over Errol Spence Jr., he would place him in the top 5 all time in terms of sheer skill. Crawford may not have the same high-profile opponents as other legends, he clarified, but his technical skill, versatility, and ring knowledge are indisputable. He makes me somewhat of Roy Jones, who, during the pound-for-pound discussion, consistently disregarded Naoya Inoue, citing his contentious choice over Nonito Donaire as evidence of flaws in his argument. Jones replied, "Don't tell me Inoue is better than Bud because Bud isn't lost to anybody."
I'd rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely had the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for like pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud, no.
Terence Crawford's next step has also been discussed by Jones Jr., who said that although a fight with Jaron Boots would be a fierce pick-em match since Boots has it all, Crawford would still be favored early on because of his demonstrated ring smarts. Conversely, Jones seemed more circumspect about a fight with Canelo Alvarez. He emphasized that Crawford needed to avoid running, make Canelo feel him from the first bell, and impose himself early. A high-stakes, strategic match that will put Crawford's tactical acumen to the test. Jones believes that although both battles are huge, they require somewhat distinct strategies. It's also a difficulty to style. In Canelo, chess is played both mentally and physically.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What does he got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
You know who I want to win the fight? Fundora. It has everything to do with Bud Crawford. I just want to see the moment that Bud Crawford is looking up at a giant and ready to chop that damn tree down. I've seen it before. I saw Roy Jones versus Hall. Rich Hall. He was and then whipped his ass. I just want that moment. Bud Crawford just and then Fundora trying to be and Bud just whoop, like the Matrix. Boom, 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 boom. Bam! I mean, I would just love it. Now, if Him Zoo wins, of course I want the better fighter to fight Bud Crawford.